Hi, this is Christina from Treasure Books of Georgia, and I am here with my 34th journal to do a flip through for you. A little bit of housekeeping. She's 9 inches long and about 6.5 inches wide. There are 3 signatures, and I have sewn them in with a variety of glass and ceramic beads, and the spine is 3 inches wide. There are metal corner protectors on each of the corners, and she is held together with a piece of muslin that I have dyed and stamped. You may recognize the material. I have done another journal that from the same piece of material that I got at a thrift store, but the material is just so beautiful and so much variety that I decided to make another one. So this is the front of the journal and this is the back. And for whoever purchases it, I do have, let me see if I can find it, a nameplate that I can put on there if they want. Otherwise, I'll just leave it blank. As I mentioned, there are 3 signatures, and I believe, if my math is correct, close to 180 pages. So the very first part, a couple other things let me mention very quickly. It does come with a writing board, and I've used another piece of the material, the same material that I used for the cover, that you can use to write, again, so you don't press through to the other pages. Okay, our first signature, a little snippet that says "Just Breathe," and this is a Tim Holtz tattered butterfly that I've dyed, and then I did some little splatters on the front here. This material is from another journal that I made, but I just think it's so pretty, and a little sepia card. I also did some stamping with some gold, this is copper embossing on that particular page. I have done a few things different in this particular journal, and I'll point those out if I remember as we go along. This is a piece, a digital that I printed on a piece of material, and it's pretty dark, but it's actually just so beautiful. And there's a little snippet here that says "We rise by lifting others." Excuse me, and there's a couple of pieces of ephemera in here. This is from Taperology. It is not vintage, and then just a little writing card. Oh, and here it says "Never forget how capable you are." And those tuck back into these little pockets. This is just one of the handmade pieces of material, probably from Taperology. And it just tucks into this little band, and that little band is from 49 and Market. This is just packing paper. I've done lots of mixed media, which I just absolutely love, including in my journals. And these were actually printed on regular paper, and then I used baby oil to make it seem like it's vellum. Came out pretty cool, so I just used it as an edging for this particular paper. There's places to journal there. And this was just a piece of material that I did some dyeing and some spraying on. And then this was from a magazine that I will just leave you to kind of read on your own, but it's "The quiet hour won't last much longer. Soon it will give way to movement, noise, the chaos of packing school lunches, etc., that we can all relate to." And I just printed on the back this really, really pretty digital. In this pocket, or actually there's 3 pockets here that I have made out of material. And we've got a vintage postcard here. This is from, I want to say it's 1980 something, but you've got an Ecuador stamp there that I just think is just absolutely gorgeous. Isn't that beautiful? I think that's just very pretty. Anyways, that goes right in this top pocket here. And then you've just got a little tag here. And this material, it's really, really soft. So I did some stamping on that and embossing. And then you have a little, isn't this cute? You have a little digital book, and then I added some dried flowers there. And that goes right in there. Little corner pocket and a couple of little tags. And then, as I mentioned before, this is the 34th journal. And this is that same material I was pointing out. It's been dyed, but it's just very, very soft. So you've got a little piece of ephemera there. And then this opens up into a little journaling space here. And I think this little pocket has a little piece of ephemera there, and that just goes in that little pocket. Here's another piece of the material from the cover, and flip that back, and I did some stamping on here and some gold. I think this is copper embossed. I keep saying gold. Little piece of ephemera there, and it says the impossible, excuse me, I apologize, is often the untried. And then you've got a mixed media index card that I made, and it goes right in this little pocket. And I did a bunch of stamping and, again, more embossing powders. Little, not jacket, but a envelope that I did some stamping and some embossing, and then did some inking over it, and just came out just very, very different. Embrace each day as a new beginning, and inside the pocket you have a couple of journaling cards, and then I've included some of the packing paper with the mixed media on there, and you can put it somewhere else in the journal if you want. And I left that page blank. Beautiful lace down the side. And this is from a journal, and I don't, or ledger, not journal, and I don't know what year it was, but I want to say it was in the 1950s. But anyways, you've got a little piece of history there. And then this is a piece of material that I did some dyeing on, and I cut a flower, or a leaf, I'm sorry, from the material from the cover, and just made it a little pocket, and then just some stamping on that. And here just a little charm, and I left these pages and tried to leave quite a few of these pages blank, so there'll be places to put whatever you would like. Again, this is from Taperology, and a really pretty pocket along the side there. This is a, let me see, let me get this open before I say, because I'm not quite sure. This one, which is so apropos for junk journalers, but we are gatherers, the ones who pick up sticks and stones and old wasp's nest. But this came from a Bella Grace magazine, and then there's places for you to journal on the back. I'll just leave that there. I'll put it back in a minute. Most, if not all, of the digitals came from Creative Fabrica. I just think that's so pretty. And in the center, this is printed on vellum, and to kind of pick up the digital from the other side, which I think is so pretty. And then just a couple of little tags there. And you can untie these if you want and place them someplace else in the journal. Again, some more mixed media and a little snippet that says Spirit. And then you've got a journaling card here. And this is cheesecloth that I've dyed down the side. And again, more blank. And the papers, I've done some dyeing, coffee dyed, and watercolor, not watercolor, I'm sorry, food coloring. Just a little snippet of cheesecloth down the side there. And this, just having fun. So you've got a little pocket here, a pocket here, pocket here. And then I wove this card in between the three that are matched together. So I definitely had some fun doing some fun things with this particular journal, but you have a lot of places there that to journal. Oh, and I did some stamping in the background. Beautiful India. This is from my friend in India, the lace down the side. This was some material that I did some, or I got at a thrift store, and I did some stamping on the back here. And here you've got a couple of grunge cards in this pocket and some cheesecloth. A little snippet that says create, and then another one of the index cards that you can journal on the back of it, and it says hope. So quite a bit of interaction. I think that's the word I'm looking for. Interact. This is just a little circle with one journal tag here and a little snippet in that little postcard thing there. Oh, and I put a little dried flower. Let's see if you can see that right there in the center. And a little snippet that says, I have confidence. Again, this is the other, what I did the baby oil on the paper where it kind of looks like vellum. Then you've got a little snippet there. And here, which I did some double printing, I'll say I did it intentionally, but Probably not. But it says, be kind to all the past versions of you. They are the soul in which you now bloom. And I kind of picked up the bike situation there. And then more of the mixed media on, which is just dyes and modeling paste on packaging paper. And again, left that one blank. Oops. And then another one of the tattered butterflies. And I just think that they just came out so beautiful. Our second signature says, you are enough. And again, this gorgeous, gorgeous lace. This again is journal 34, which I did some stamping on some cheesecloth. And this says encourage, and a little stamp or a wax seal there, a little piece of ephemera in there to journal on. Put that back into the little, oops, there we go. And that goes there. And I did a lot of printing on vellum and a variety of material actually this time. And so this is another one that was double stamped, but it's so pretty. Hopefully you can see that. You've got a little tuck spot here. And then I ran this through an embossing folder and then just did some light inks across the top. Oh, and there's some stamping in the background. Oh, a place for you to journal, front and back. And again, the cheesecloth, which lots of strings. Some more on the packing material. And then this particular one, that you can take this off and put these cards anywhere you want. A lot of mixed media on here. And then these are copies of some of the ephemera, or not ephemera, but the vintage things that I got from my mother-in-law. But this was in 1960, and this was her tuition bill at the time. And then this was from Pocosa Springs, Colorado, 1911. And that just a receipt. I'm not quite sure what it was for, but it was for $6. But anyways, these are copies that were of the information or pieces of material that I found in the storage area. More places. Oh, this was a piece of material that I did some stamping on and then did some sewing and ruffles down the side. This is again from material I've used before. And this book was on a piece of vellum that I ran through my embossing machine, my Big Shot or whatever, and this little holographic thing there. And you've got just some bits of material kind of you can put somewhere else in the journal if you want. And then you've got a little pocket back here. And this comes out, little journaling card. Let me see if I can get, there we go. A little journaling card and a little snippet that says peace. And I just kind of held that together so you can keep this together as a journaling book, or you can put the other pieces of paper somewhere else in the journal. And that just goes right in there. And more journaling space for you here. And this is from 49 and Market, their washi tape. I thought that was really, really pretty. My determination is stronger than my fear. And you've got a little tuck spot here and a little journaling card here. For you. And then on this side, and I cut this out, it kind of matches that, but again, it's a little journaling space for you. This is just from some material that I had and used it as a siding. And then this again is printed, and doing some double prints. It's actually been quite fun. And then a couple of butterflies for the center of the second signature. And then just a little paper doily, and then you've got some journaling cards. And you can cut these apart and put them, anywhere in the journal that you would like. And a little snippet that says, I have confidence. This, I believe, is from Pink Monarch Prints. This from one of the kits that I got. I just absolutely love those cards, or the design. This I printed on my letterpress, so it's on cotton paper, and you can journal on this or you can mail it out. And I did two of them, so you've got a pocket here, and then you've got a pocket at the top here, a little snippet with held together with some beads. And then this I also did on letterpress, and you can either journal with it or you could send it out if you wanted. and a little snippet here that says follow your heart, and I did some sewing along the sides. Let's see, there's some journaling parts there. I love this lace. I think this is absolutely gorgeous. And a little snippet that says nurture. I'm trying to see what this says. Oh, yeah, this is about past versions of myself get together for coffee. They talk about who I used to be and how I overcame all that I was thrown at me. I just think that is just really, really cool. I think I say really, really cool a lot, which, you know, I don't mean to, but I'll tell you, making these videos is a challenge for me, as I'm sure it is for other creators, but that's okay. We soldier on. Anyways, beautiful lace, and then some faux beading down the side. Okay, so now we have over here a little pocket and a couple of little journaling cards in there. Another place to journal. And the other piece of the packing material. I love this digital. I think this is just so interesting to look at. And then I created, I believe this might have been a Tim Holtz material that I had left over, but I used it as a ruffle down the side. Another index card with not junk journaling, I apologize, mixed media here, a little snippet that says Create Magic. And this is from a 1935 Popular Mechanics book, couple of books that I got that have all the Popular Mechanics in there. But this is an official vintage piece here. And that just goes right back into that card, or that pocket. And that's the end of our second signature. Third signature starts off with gorgeous, gorgeous lace. And this was a vintage handkerchief that I dyed and did stamping. This stamp, I used it before. This is a Simon Says stamp, and I just absolutely love it. And then there's a journaling card in there. And again, I left quite a few of these pages blank so that you could add, you know, whatever you would like. Again, another piece of this material is so soft. A little corner butterfly here, with a couple of little journaling cards here. And in the pocket, not paying attention. In the pocket, we have, and again, this kind of matches the books. I created a little booklet out of kind of vintage looking stacks of books. If you can dream it, you can do it. And inside, you've got a stack of books and a little card, and then some places to journal on the inside, and you've got a little something here in the back. Just a little journaling card. I just think it's so kind of neat. And then you've got books, and this, I fussy cut this stack of books, and then you've got a little something there, and I'll just leave that for the person to discover. And it slides right into that little fussy cut stack of books. This is just I'm not sure, it was a die cut, and I just added along the side. I just think that dark brown is just beautiful. And then I made some small little pockets here, a little button, just a little, cluster. That's the word I'm looking for, a little cluster there, a little tag here. And it says, it is in your moments of decision that your destiny is shaped. And I had printed on a piece of newsprint, you can kind of see it here, and then I just pulled those same flowers. And over here you've got a couple of tags there. And this was just an experiment that I did, and I printed it on different kind of material. And then I took both of those prints and created one page. And you can probably use pens and pen things on here if you wanted, but I just turned it into a page. I just think it came out just beautiful. You've got a couple of little tags here. Again, the same digital, but on this material, and you can kind of see the lines of the material that I used. A couple of little charms there. And here I cut this from probably a tablecloth and used it as a little belly band. And then again, some of my experiments on vellum, and then a journaling card here. And then right here in the corners, I also did some things I got from 49 in Market. There's a little magnet in this, and you unfold, and you've got it's little journaling things going on here, a little mixed media here and that little button, and then it closes. A little journaling space there, and then butterfly that I used as pockets for tags on both sides. And again, mistakes in printing, but I think they came out so pretty. And you've got a couple of little tags. Again, you can take these off and put them someplace else if you would like. Again, from the material, from the same fabric that I used on the cover, and then a few more journaling cards there, and a little snippet that says dream, and some cheesecloth. Just a tag I made, and a couple of buttons, little corner pocket. And this flips down. Sorry, I'm out of frame a little bit. And this is, again, more mixed media stuff, and you can put this anywhere in the journal that you would like. Oops, if I can put that back, and, or whatever that you would like to do with it, or it can stay here in its original home. Let me put that back, and that just flips up. Oh, you know what? I think I did that wrong. Okay, I'll fix it. You know what? I better take that off and fix it later. Okay. Again, more mixed media, and I must have spilled over onto this page is why I pulled these two together. Certainly not sepia, but pretty, and a couple of journaling cards there. Again, just some gold leaf down the side. And again, more of that from that vellum. And this is a card that I created. And again, you can use it to journal with, or you can mail it out. I've included the envelope, and it's tucked behind it. And then, of course, some sewing. And this is the other part of that page that I printed. You can really feel it. It's really very, very interesting. Just a little card, again, that DIY vellum. I think that's what that is, and a couple of journaling cards there. Another piece of that vellum, quite a few pieces. And then this is the other part where I had printed over it, did some splatters, and then created these cards from the same digital. And then you've got a journaling card in there, a little snippet that says love. The other part of our bookcase, and I just created, I think it's probably from the same digital I got this. Might be from the pink monarch prints, but I just made a little diagonal card, and then this is a journaling card there. Triple pocket here. This is from World War I. It is not ever been used, but it was in the same, this is a vintage postcard. It was in that same storage unit, my mother-in-law's storage unit. And then you've got a journaling card here, and a little tag, and a journaling card there, and a little snippet that says bliss. And here's the other half from the books previously, kind of matched the books there. And then I just made this out of material, just a teeny little book that says believe, and then this is just a little dot of, what are those called? I think they're, anyways, little crystal dots. And then, again, another edging. I believe this is the Tim Holtz material. And then this is just my signature. In addition to this book, I also had an extra signature, and I couldn't, as much as I wanted to, I couldn't fit it in here. So what I've created is just this second book to go along. There's even, this is on vellum, and you can untie the center. It's very easy, and pull the pages out and journal on them and put them anywhere in the book that you would like. Okay, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. This will be in my Etsy shop. And a quick shout out, thank you so much for all subscribers. That's so exciting for me. I so appreciate it. Have a great week, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.